Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of Call Me Crazy with Shiri Gabriel. It is September, back to school. I'm sure so many of you are excited to have your children back at school. Some of you are a little bit on the edge. Some of you are worried. Wherever you are, this is the podcast where I'm going to challenge some norms. I'm going to push some boundaries. And I for sure dive deep into the crazy, this world of growth and success and living life to the fullest. That's what I love the most. And today we are going to talk about what it really takes to succeed in anything. And it's about being all in. So, have you ever wondered why some people seem to achieve everything they set their minds and others stay stuck in the same place year after year after year? Now, the difference often comes down to one simple thing: commitment, being all in caps, being all in. And when I say all in, I mean diving head first, burning the boats, and committing 100% without looking back. So today, we're going to explore why being all in is not just a nice to have, but an absolute necessity if you want to achieve real success. So grab your coffee, take a deep breath, go for a walk, and get ready to be inspired, and maybe even called a little crazy.
Get ready for a new episode of Call Me Crazy with Shiri Gabriel.
So, what does it mean to be all in? It's more than just saying you're committed. It's really a mindset, it's a way of life. It means giving your absolute best even when you're uncomfortable, when it's inconvenient or terrifying. I will give you, and I can give you so many examples of when I was there. Going all in for me, if I have to think about a great example right now, meant leaving a stable career in the corporate world. You all know that I used to work for Coca-Cola for 10 years. I had a great job, great career, great salary, great benefits, really great everything. And I decided that it was my time to become an entrepreneur, to become a coach, to become a global connector, to go out into the world, leave the corporate world, and just go out and inspire people, help people change their lives. And when I made that decision, and you've heard me say this, many people call me crazy, which is fine. That's actually when I knew that I was on the right track, because people really thought I was crazy. But it meant for me embracing that uncertainty and betting on myself 100%. I'm going to say that again: betting on myself 100%. And that's what it means to be all in. You burn your bridges, you burn those boats, and you just go all in, no matter what. So, I have other examples, and I'm going to be sharing more examples as we move through the episode. But that's just one example that comes to mind. And you might be in that situation right now where you're thinking or hoping or praying for change and to do something. Yet you might be terrifying. You might not be in the right place or mindset to do that. But if you follow your passions, and I'm going to talk more about that, then you need to just get all in and bet on yourself 100%. So let's get real for a moment. Most people fail not because they aren't capable, but because they're half-hearted in their approach. I'm going to repeat that. They are half-hearted in their approach. So they dip their toes. This is the toe dipping stage, and you might be there, right? So you dip your toes in the water instead of diving in. Listen, the only way to learn how to swim right? And to become a swimmer is to dive into the pool. Now, when you play it safe, right? And you're half committed, you are going to lack the results. Things are going to take that much longer for you to achieve what you want to achieve, if at all, to be honest with you. That fear of failure, that second guessing yourself, is just going to delay everything. There's so many examples that I can think of in my life. And I remember, especially with my business, one of the questions that I was asked, what would you do differently? And what I would have done differently in my business, the direct sales business that I was in, is that I should have done things faster. I should have been all in from the beginning, because once I became all in, once I started doing things faster, not second guessing myself, but betting on myself 100%, I started seeing results much faster and right away. So don't waste time. Don't waste time. Just go all in, just bet on yourself, and you are going to see results right away. So if you're only half in, you'll get half the results. If you're only half in, you're going to get half the results. And again, that's what happened with my business at the beginning. I wasn't all in. I was getting half the results. And at first I didn't understand, but I got to tell you, if I got to pinpoint what was the reason why I was only getting half the results, it was because I was only half in. I was not all in. And it is as simple as that. So you either commit to the goal or you don't. When you're all in, you're sending a message, not just to the world, but to yourself. You're telling yourself that you're serious, that you're willing to do whatever it takes. And I can tell you a recent example, and you've heard, hopefully you've heard my last episode about becoming best friends with my buddy, and how I entered into the program, the nutrition program, and I was all in. And when I told myself I'm all in and I'm going to burn my bridges, I just, it sent a message to myself, to me, that I was serious, that I'm serious about this. I was fully committed, and it created that mindset that there is no other way. I actually saw myself getting the results that I wanted because I told myself I'm all in, I'm fully committed. And one that is that mindset, right? That mindset activates something in your brain. It activates this mindset that is creative, that is solution oriented, that is resilient, that no matter what happens, you are going to achieve those results. And that's exactly why I achieved the results that I wanted. In fact, I exceeded the results that I expected because of that mindset of being fully committed to myself and being fully committed to become best friends with my body. Now, fear is definitely something that stops us, right? So how do you overcome this fear so you can go all in? Because I know what you're thinking. What if I go all in and I fail? And let me tell you, that fear is real. But here's the thing, the fear of failure is often worse than failure itself. Let me repeat that. The fear of failure is often worse than failure itself. And I'm going to add something to this that I heard recently. It's not even that failure itself, but is living in regret because you let fear stop you. So I'm going to give you a recent example as well of what I'm going through right now as I'm starting to build a retreat for women, women between the ages of 45 to 65. And this is the first time that I'm going to ever do a retreat. But I know it's not going to be the last one. And you know why? Because I'm all in. Because I've learned that the only way to have success is to be all in. Am I afraid? Absolutely, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of many things, not just of failure. I'm afraid of disappointing women. I'm afraid of not delivering on the expectations. I'm afraid of not getting enough women to come to the retreat. I'm afraid of spending too much. I'm afraid of not choosing the right place. I'm afraid of many, many things. But I am embracing that failure. And I'm not letting that failure stop me, but understanding that, again, we are not a failure. People are not a failure. A failure is just a moment in life. It's something that happens and you can learn from it and move forward. So remember, you're not a failure if you fail. It's just that it was a moment in time and you learn from it, you get back up and you continue. And you know why you're going to be able to continue? Because you're all in. Because even if you fail for that moment, you can regroup and you can move on. So, actionable steps to overcome fear are things like reframing failure, which is what we're doing right now, right? Reframe it. It's a moment in time. That's all it is. Use visualization of your success being in that moment. And I'm visualizing what the retreat looks like. What is the feeling that I'm getting? What is the feeling of the women that are coming to the retreat? I'm visualizing the number of women coming to the retreat. I'm visualizing the activities and the workshops. I'm feeling it inside of me. And of course, I'm taking calculated risks. Don't get me wrong. You have to somehow have calculated risks. It's not just going all in without considering that. Now, I'm going to offer you some practical tips for going all in, because I don't want to just leave you with the idea of going all in, but really to have some tips that will help you. The first one, and in my opinion, the most important one, identifying your why. You need a strong reason that drives you. So when you know why you're doing something, it becomes easier to stay committed. I'm going to continue with the example of the retreat. So my why, I have a big why, and my why is to help 100 women change their lives. That's a big why. And I want to do this in the next 18 months. That's a big why. But I'm so passionate about it. It drives me so much. And I see the retreat as a way of doing that. You understand? So, what is your why? And if you need help figuring out your why, please reach out to me, because I'm the why expert. I can tell you that. What else do you want to do? You want to burn the boats. So, this means removing the option to back out. You remove the option to back out. So, if you have a plan B, you're not all in. I'm gonna tell you that again. If you have a plan B, you're not all in. Okay. What's your exit strategy? I hear that, when I'm coaching business people, what is my exit strategy? I'm going to have an exit strategy. No, you won't. You won't, because you're going to be all in and you're going to expect to fail and you're going to know how to get back up. But that's not a plan B. Okay. Now create a daily commitment ritual. Set daily intentions, affirmations, or actions that align with your goal, with your why. You need to be very clear about this. And these are daily commitment rituals. Okay. I didn't say just daily activities, not a to-do list, but daily commitment rituals. One other one that I'm going to leave you with, and I think it's one of the most important ones, you need to surround yourself with support. You need to find a community of like-minded people that will push you to go further. You want to find a community of people that believe in you sometimes more than you believe in yourself. And in fact, I'm also working on creating this community, and there's more to come on that. You're going to hear more about this, because I think, especially as women, we need that community. Sometimes it's hard to find. Sometimes we don't know what that is because we haven't experienced it. But for those of us who have experienced it, we know how important that is. And I got to tell you, without that community right now, it would be so hard for me to work on that retreat. Let's all make this a movement of all of us going all in. And I'm going to leave you with a final thought. Remember, success doesn't come from half measures. It comes from giving everything you've got, even when it's hard, even when it's scary. So be bold, be brave, and most importantly, be all in. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for listening to Call Me Crazy. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and please share this episode with someone who needs to hear these words, with someone who you can help go all in and bet 100% on themselves.
This has been another episode of Call Me Crazy with Shiri Gabriel. Make sure to join in next week for a new episode, and if you would like to contact Miss Gabriel about speaking or training at your next conference, function, or event, visit shiri.coach.